Morning!
Good morning!
I think I'm peppier than most people today.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I didn't go out drinking, Nick did. Apparently they won the shot tray through so many Jaeger bombs. I wish I could have gone out drinking, but I didn't. But yeah. First of all, massive thank you to Nick. I had to rush home.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's what I say. I had to rush home during the last game yesterday, so Nick did the stream wonderfully by himself, but also carried on TOing and doing rules queries, and did all the draws, and did absolutely everything else. So huge thank you to Nick. Who saved the day, and was almost going to be spare player today until somebody turned up at the last minute looking a little bit grey. But they're here, everybody has turned up where we started.
So we have switched the players around that we were going to spectate. So instead we've got...
We were going to be showing somebody who's not feeling particularly well today.
Good morning. Just give... that's Bob in
again.
six.
Yeah. Morning, Bob. I'm impressed you're up and about.
I would assume that Jan's there as well, so morning Jan as well.
Morning, Jan. But yeah, we're good to go. Everybody turned up on time.
Yeah.
Despite a few almost casualties of the night before. So, game one today is Pillage with 7 tokens. Mm-hmm. We've got on the stream today, we've got
Rich Tomlinson
and Dom Staveacre again.
Yep.
We've now reached the point, I think, where there wasn't any matchups where we couldn't duplicate somebody.
There were a couple of matchups where we could show people for the first time, but there were issues with showing them. So we've had.
And also towards the top of the table, we didn't want to show a game that we might then have to show the same person right afterwards again, because obviously for the last game we want to show the top table. Mm-hmm. That'll be the decider. It's very close at the top. Mm-hmm. The top 4 people have got...
They're all within 2 points of
something
each?
like 2 or 3 points, points. So it is completely wide open at the moment. Mm-hmm. I think it's also wide open in terms of the races up there, I believe. I think it's 4 different races.
Yeah.
Knights, Stalkers, Undead, and Pirates, I believe. I think Ed currently is sitting there at 3rd.
Yep, so if anyone's not seen it, we've got George Kirk in first place at the moment with Night Stalkers. He's actually on 51 points, not 50 points, as we've corrected. So first place, George Kirk with Night Stalkers. Second place is Dan King with Undead on 49 points. Adam Padley with Goblins on 46. Ed Herzig on 39. So Ed's a little bit behind the pack at this point.
Do you want this to start?
Yep, go for it. Yep. You're good to go. So the top three players are all within very good shouting distance. 51 points, 49 and 46.
So these next couple of games are really going to decide everything, aren't they? Oh yeah, we're underway.
Morning, Sam. Oh, 5 a.m. I thought I said Sam.
5 a.m. here. Well, I can't promise you a good one. But, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
These two weren't drinking last night, so hopefully they're a bit more into it. I don't know if you just want to switch over to the table just while we go through the list. Just starting to deploy.
Do that.
They've already put down the tokens, so I will try and point out where the tokens are from here. I think that it should be fairly clear.
If I was organised, I would have sorted out some graphics so I could put over the tokens.
We'll let you off for doing everything else as well. So you can see here. So we've got 1 token in the top left.
In fact, well, there's first of all the most obvious ones. There's 3 across the centre of the board.
Yeah.
Then you got 1 in the top left, 1 bottom left. So that's 5. There's 1
just under the forest on the top right.
Yep. And I would presume that there's another one that we can't quite see.
I'll go and find
it.
Nick's gone. He'll go find it. Right, so I will run you through the list. So we've seen Dom's list before, but I will just quickly run through it again. So it's got the 2 big hordes of orcs. We've got the Axe Horde with the Brew of Strength and the Great Axe Horde with the Potion of the Caterpillar. We've got the 3 Troll Hordes with nothing on them. A regiment of Gore Riders with the Staying Stone. The Godspeaker with Drain Life, Inspiring Talisman and Mounted for that damage/heal. The Crudger with Blade of Slasher and Mounted. Crudger on Wing Slasher with a Mace of Crushing. And 2 War Drums. It was interesting to see the Crudger didn't really come into Dom's game much the last time we saw him. But I think he could have a lot more impact here when you've got the little regiments of Brotherhood Knights.
Yeah.
While he'll still probably go down fairly easily, he could get in the way of something quite nicely, really.
Yeah, it's very useful for just stripping off that Thunderous Charge.
Definitely.
Now, in terms of the damage that it'll do, I don't think that damage is going to stick because Rich has actually got quite a.
He's got the heal.
He's got some healing.
He's got
somewhere.
Martyr's Prayer.
He's got Martyr's Prayer.
So just quickly going through Richard's list because we haven't seen this one yet. So he's got the Horde of Villian Bowmen with the piercing arrow. So Villian Bowmen are effectively crossbowmen from every other race out there, 24-inch with reload and piercing. They do have phalanx, which War Riders, I suppose, comes into it.
But then
here.
they've got crushing strength, so that's
It's defense 3. It's totally irrelevant.
It's not. It's going to be irrelevant in this game.
They've got 2 regiments of Order of the Brotherhood that benefit from Pathfinder from the formation. There's Order of the Abyssal Hunt with Blessing of the Gods. So they're the monster hunter ones. They're the ones that have defense 4 but crushing 1, thunderous 1.
Yeah.
And Vicious against monsters, which will only come into effect here on the Crudger on Slasher.
Wardrum.
Oh, and the War Drums, essentially, yeah. Ooh.
Not that I think those guys are going to really struggle to kill a Wardrum, but
it's there.
It'll come into play.
Order of Redemption with the Brewer Strength, so they're the regenning Super Knights. Villian Reconnoiter, how do you pronounce that word?
Reconnoiters.
Chaff. Villian Chaff.
No, Reconnoiterers.
Villian Chaff Horseman.
Yep.
2 Forsaken Beasts, both with Breath 10 and Ensnare. I love those things. An Exemplar of Brotherhood, mounted with the Inspiring Talisman. Devoted with Heal 2, which she won't ever be using because she's also got Martyr's Prayer, Weakness, and Amulet of the Fireheart. So I suppose if she really needs it, she could use Fireheart, Heal, and Martyr's Prayer in one turn.
No, it's only one extra spell.
That's what I mean. So she could use Heal to, and then use the Fireheart.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
to add the Martyr's Prayer on. And then an Exemplar Hunter, who is the hit character version of the Monster Hunter one. So he's crushing 2.
It's a really nice inspiring choice. That you don't tend to get 90 points. Inspiring characters that have a little bit of hittiness.
I not realised it was inspiring to everyone. I assumed he was inspiring only to the Monster Hunter Knights.
He's a really nice individual, that one. So normally what you get is an individual in the 60-70 point range, and that's either going to be hitty or it's going, hitty I say, but it's going to be 3 attacks with crushing strength, or it's going to be an armoured standard bearer for inspiring. Now the really nice thing about this is that for just 30 extra points he's both hitty and inspiring. He's
a nice character. He is defense 4. He's in that sort of range of the Centaur Chief. Similar points.
12-14 is not bad. It's
a very good nerve. Yeah, he's got a Fury, which is interesting. He's Valiant, which won't come into much fetch really here. I think there's only 1 Villian true benefit from that, but no, nice little unit. Both these players are currently, I don't know if they've got the rankings there of where they are.
So yeah, we actually had to swap some of the so they're actually currently in 7th place and 9th place. We had to swap their pairings around originally because one of the other players had played each other. So Rich Tomlinson is currently sat on 32 tournament points and Dom is on 30.
Ooh. So it's a close game. So
yeah, it's a very close game.
So off the bat, I would say Pillage suits Dom here, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with 7 tokens.
The other token is under the Bowman Horde in the bottom right.
So it's not even a safe token all game, but it's safer there, I would say, isn't it?
Yeah.
You will see, of course, we have moved scenery around a little bit, just a bit of variety of what you're seeing on stream. So where the chess clock phone is at the minute, that's a big piece of impassable. It's potentially not as easy to see now from this angle directly above. I think everything else should be fairly clear of what they are. I think deployment-wise, like I said, Pillage right off the bat, it feels like
Pillage
an advantage.
Pillage definitely plays into Dom's favour. He's got the nerve.
He does. What he doesn't have, though, is lots of cheap units that can sit on tokens.
And he kind of has to he has to stay together, so he can't spread out much.
He does. I mean, I potentially think about sacrificing the benefits of 1 War Drum to hold point.
But I think that
the back, I mean, it can move up with him for now, but then maybe peel off and hold one of those back tokens.
But I think that Rich has actually got the speed to be able to pick off a unit like that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see there that he's put his Villians on the far right, out there. So as if he's not tend to use them so much as chaff and more for the flanking, for threatening those points. I like that placement actually. Rather than having them up there with the knights feeling like they've got to be screening something and throwing themselves away to die.
Well, he's got the speed advantage, except for the Crudger and Slasher, which you can nullify with good placement. Richard's got the speed advantage.
He does. I mean, that Crudger's going to get the charge off on something. But like I say, he's got overlap with all of his knight regiments, so he's going to be getting hits. He's put down both beasts together, actually, and both of those ensnared beasts, I like them together. They effectively make them into a nice little regiment of their own.
Absolutely.
Especially against a troll horde, for example.
Well, have you seen what he's done?
No.
He's put his two beasts together in front of the wall, which is where Dom needs to be. So when Dom comes close, he's going to be suffering from ensnare, and he's also going to be charging terrain, so it's going to be -2 to
and he's going to get breath weapon on the way in.
Yeah.
I like that.
Rich is really good with using those Forsaken beasts. I've played him a few times, and
apparently we're on turn 6.
Oh, did I not fix that? Sorry. Sorry, guys. Just can't get the staff, can you?
No. Turn back everything.
There you go.
Everything nice as ever. So he's still got to put down his super knights.
I would be tempted to put them on the left to put pressure on.
Yeah. That big hill in the middle is going to be a very interesting piece to play around.
Yeah.
It blocks pretty much everything here except the Crudger on Wing Slasher. Nothing else is height 3. There's no Forsaken Knight, Order of the Forsaken, so there's no big flying knights.
I think those beasts in the centre are going to be key, and it's obviously Rich has recognised where he can put them to maximum effect because Dom wants to be there. You've got 3 tokens in the middle closest to each other, which is where Dom really wants to be.
It does look like that big axe horde could hold both tokens as well.
Yeah.
From the location there. He sits himself right in the middle of those. I suppose the only downside is for Rich, he doesn't need to kill the beasts because he out-unit strengths both of them.
I suppose that's true, but it does lock them in place, and he's going to be grinding.
Absolutely, yeah.
Endlessly.
And then you've got lots of knights running around.
Yeah, the knights will get on the flanks.
Yeah.
And if you turn to face the knights, then the beasts can go in. They're still fairly key.
Yeah. I must say, I love where Richard put his Brotherhood knights there. Because with that Pathfinder, you've got a huge big open space there where they've got free reign.
The obstacle could be an issue, but...
It could, but I suppose everything to the right of the obstacle over is theirs.
Yeah.
And actually, they've only got to come a little bit forward where they can scoot around that obstacle, especially if the beasts are moving up.
Yeah.
I mean, the shortest path is going around the beasts. They've got a big range.
Oh, he's putting his knights in the centre there.
I believe they're the...
Yeah, they're the...
Are these Abyssal Hunt ones or are they super ones? We can't figure out by the time we're done on running, but I'll...
Okay.
Because there's Alans there, but I'm not sure if they've got Lance on.
In fact... Oh no, I was going to say... Because the Order of Redemption are inspiring, he might put them there for inspiring coverage, but no, he's got his heroes there, so it's not going to... That's not what he'd be putting them there for.
No. I mean, the fact that they're inspiring means they can go on that left flank.
Yeah.
Essentially. I'll go find out. So, Abyssal Hunt are on the right, that have just gone down behind the villains. And Redemption, so the Abyssal Hunt, the red ones on the right, that have just gone down behind
right, okay.
And then, so it's on the left are the Order of Redemption. So it's effectively ignoring
the left-hand side
completely.
of the board. I think both you and I are a bit umming about that, because even if that was a token unit placed on the side, even if he acknowledges he's gonna lose that flank, which I don't think he would with a knight unit there.
I don't.
It would still be useful for the sake of forcing Dom to take that into account.
It would, and just giving up 3 tokens.
Yeah.
By doing that's my concern with that one. I think a single regiment down there could have shut down a lot of worries for you now. Because actually, you're almost losing the strength of that Forsaken Beast anchor, because now the trolls and the big axe horde there can just swing around that side of the wall without any impediment.
Yeah.
Just over the hill. I think Rich might get a bit surprised when those trolls just do 12 forward now.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, actually, you're really, really in trouble. Whereas you could be looking at that hill and making so those trolls could never ever go onto it.
Mm-hmm. So we've got the slasher on the right hand side there.
Not hungover technically, actually, no. Yes, so at the last round we're going to be filming the actual top result.
Yeah.
So that's why the top 4 tables out on stream, because we didn't want to show anyone that could potentially be on straight away afterwards. So we wanted to get as many different armies on stream as we could. The players that were going to be on stream, one of them, bless him, is not very well. He wasn't even drinking.
No, it's not drink related.
No. He's made it in. We really appreciate that he did make it in. He wasn't sure if he was going to, but he did say, would we mind not being on stream?
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, because I think we're currently propping him up with his chair. He's looking a bit grey. So yeah, so we're definitely going to have table 1. And at the minute, that's looking like it's either going to be Dan King, Adam Padley, Ed Herzig, or John on there. So Dan King is currently playing George Kirk, which is Undead versus Night Stalkers, and Ed, Empire of Dust, is currently playing Adam's Goblins.
Yep.
So the winner of both those will play each other.
Now the table below that is Tom Robinson versus Ian Sturgis. Now they
Alpha.
Yeah, if they scored big if one of them scored big in their game, they could potentially get towards. No, even they wouldn't. I think they'd be too far behind.
They can be looking at top 3, I think, now. But if they scored big in the last 2 games, but I don't think.
But the point I was going to make is that they're having an elf off, so I don't see a big win either way with that.
I think it'll be bloody.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a lot of things killed, but I don't think they're in contention really anymore for.
I don't think so. No. So we don't think Tom Robinson is
going to win. I know. I mean, there's another Northern Kings member in there, so we're not panicking too much. Adam Padley is still there, so we don't have to cheat yet.
So I've got Rich the first turn, which I should fix after Bob rightly pointed out. There we go.
This is one of them where I'm not so sure about loading up that right flank. So the Crudger on Wing Slasher had more drops than Rich. Was able to go down fast, and is now, while not shutting down that flank, because you've got the Villians there that can screen, it just makes everything a little slower and a little harder.
Yeah.
Especially with the Gore Riders, because that Brotherhood Knight Regiment doesn't want to take the first charge. And you've only got the one unit, the Villians are the only unit really there that can stop both. I'll be interested to see what he does with the Villians. I can see him being quite aggressive using that hill. I would hope he goes as fast forward as he can, bring those up behind them, maybe keep the individual back, just to prevent the Crudger flying over.
Yeah. I'm not sure that the Crudger's going to be particularly worried about the individual, but it
grounds him, and then it would be worth the time of that thing to ground him, turn around with the Abyssal Hunt and charge him next turn.
Yeah.
It is the Monster Hunter individual, so it'd be thematic. If nothing else, it would. Brotherhood are in fact the bomb. They're overpowered, which is why they got the very rightful nerf in Clash of Kings 19. As we all know, they were basically ruining the game.
Yeah.
By being so overpowered.
Yeah.
And taken by power gamers.
Yeah.
Like Bob Asplen. Well known as being a power gamer. And Jam was on top table at our event.
So Rich is exposing the flank to this slasher there. He's, I'm assuming that's deliberate, and what he's doing is
taunting, I believe is the
taunting. Word. Yes. Charge my flank. Go for it.
Can I just say that is a spectacular shirt Dom's got on.
He always has cracking shirts.
That is a shirt for the stream, is that? I don't dislike showing the flank there, actually. If he goes for it, it kills the Villians, but he puts them in a...
Well, it's the Slasher's getting charged next to
it. Yeah, and it puts Slasher in a bad has to be acknowledged. Well, you know.
What worries me on that right hand side is if Dom doesn't take that bait, he can effectively lock that Knight Regiment out of the game.
Yeah.
With his slasher, and of course Dom's got last turn, so Dom can always in the last turn move on to the objective.
He can. If he doesn't take it though, I think that Dom has put himself. So Rich has put himself in range of the corner of the Gore Riders,
right?
But not in range himself. So he has to do something about the Villians. Because he's now in a situation where he's quite effectively stopping that Gore Rider regiment from doing much.
Yeah.
And there's no shooting that I can remember in Dom's list, so there's no way he's going to touch those Villians otherwise. But he's being aggressive. Yeah, so see here, so he's done the big 12-inch move with the Trolls.
Yeah.
Would have needed. It's a nice Knight regiment just next to that.
Yeah, and that would have kept the Trolls locked down.
Yeah, and would have stopped exactly this potentially. Or,
but then
it would have made it a bit more nervous to do.
But even though you were saying that Rich has given up the tokens on the left hand side of the board, Dom's not actually sitting on the tokens.
He's not, and he would have to leave a unit behind to do that. He does have the War Drum plodding up behind, which you must remember has unit strength.
He does, but he probably wants to use it with his army.
He does, but he could swing. The Trolls could come around to that back corner one, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Or even the one on the hill, hold that one, bring the War Drum up until turn 4 or 5.
Yeah, and then turn it and leg it.
Just go out. It can match, it's a monster, it's not a
war engine.
A war engine stuck behind things, so it's got a decent amount of move in it. I'm enjoying being back. I missed the last game.
Sorry?
I'm enjoying being back. I missed the last game. I forgot to listen. Had it in the car. Shit, I missed it. I like watching Ed. Ed play.
It was a very, very good game. Very interesting to watch.
Interesting, yeah. Drink. I know it's early. Drink. I
don't know if not that he could do anything about it, but I do wonder if Don knows that he's going to be at -2 to hit. I suspect he does, doesn't he?
I would think so. Again, it's does it? I suppose it does matter for him.
Well, taking his Trolls from 4s to 6s.
It matters a lot for the Trolls.
Yeah.
I suppose the difference is that he's not worried too much about killing him. Is what I'm getting at. Does that matter? That if he's patient, he can just hold there. Because he's got the unit strength over him, he's got the last turn, he can just run in and nab that point from them. Although you would have to kill the regiment next to them, because you add the unit strength together.
Yeah.
So with the 2 beasts in a regiment, it will be 4, so you would outdo the Forsaken Beast there. But of course, Rich has got plenty turns before then. What is nice here, where the beast is, he has blocked those knights having to go over that wall at all. Because the shortest route now will always be around the wall and the beast.
Yeah.
Which is a nice touch, actually. See, these Gore Riders here are slightly not struggling, but it's an interesting one for them. But then, I suppose the problem is, if you do send the Villians off to block the Gores or go for the Gores, you then lose your best tool for stopping your Crudger with the Abyssal Hunt.
Yeah.
So. And there's only one token over there. So Rich is committing
a lot of units
for one token. And I know it's a danger corner for him because it's the only corner that outspeeds him.
However, having said that, if he doesn't challenge that corner, the Slash is going to be able to move down that flank and he's going to be able to hit the bowhod in the flank.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the one corner that has the tools to really outspeed him and to really threaten him.
And Rich has a token in that corner.
He does. I mean, at the moment, Rich is holding 2, I believe. Holding 2 because just out of range of the 3rd, I think, from here. The one to the right of the centre. And then there's 3 currently being uncontested, and then Dom has 1. The top right. I mean, obviously, it will be nowhere near like this at the end, but I think it is useful in pillage just to keep an eye on where the counters are. I think
Yeah.
we said this yesterday. People quite often tend to play kill for 5 turns,
And then
go,
and then
ooh,
worry.
tokens. And Rick can do that to an extent here, where I think Dom has to think about the scenario a lot more.
Yeah.
He's
Well, Dom's a
slow.
slower army, so
Yeah.
he's got to plan his moves in advance.
And also, he can, by doing that, he can decide what units he can throw away because he's going to get charged by something because, the knights speed 8, they're going to get you. So he needs to really be picking and deciding which tokens he's going to run for, which to just ignore. For example, the trolls here, it wouldn't be the worst decision in the world just to turn right and make a beeline straight for that bottom left, capture that point, and then he has to turn and commit something big to get them, pulling them away from the rest of his line. Even if he then loses that troll unit, you've pulled one of his units out of the game by doing that, and the rest of your army is free to advance. So it's just thinking about what tokens can I use, what can I force my opponent to do, by playing the objective rather than just by playing kill. Or if they refuse to play the objective and just play kill, well then what can I grab and and take the game from it. Looks like Dom's not going for the taunting. Although, no, he's shuffling. Again, I do like the placement of the Brittle Knight, at least for the hill. That they've got a lot way to go and still not be in line of sight of those Gore Riders.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Gore Riders in range? Do we know the Villians? I don't know if we measured or more importantly, are the Villians in range to the Gore Riders?
I think the Villians are. There wasn't any way that...
Yeah. Because I just go running straight into the front of them.
So, Mr. Jesse, we are playing Pillage. They have 7 tokens. I've not got the graphics on the screen, I'm afraid, but you can see 2 tokens on the left of the board. They're the little brown circles, little wooden circles. Then you got 3 across the centre of the board. There's 1 in the upper right, just in front of the Gore Riders next to the forest. And then Rich has sat his bow in the bottom right, on top of the other objective marker.
And we're currently on turn 1.
Turn 1.
Bottom of turn 1.
Yeah.
And Dom's getting nervous about it. But
He's starting to overthink, isn't he?
he is, bless him. Let's be honest, you're not going to charge into that, are you? Not at the minute. Not that troll regiment and a troll horde. What I can see him doing, if he's in range, is taking both of them into one horde of orcs.
Yeah.
I think you have to do that. We mentioned with the list breakdown, if I try and match up that what Rich really needs with this list is to get multiple charges off onto one horde. He really needs to break things in one go. That's how Brotherhood excel. Having a couple of the fighty individuals really helps that, actually. They just tip balances over, don't they? I think people are surprised sometimes just how much an individual can tip it.
Yeah.
Two regiments and an individual is a much more surefire break.
Good morning, Mr. Fawkes. The hangover is definitely there.
I'm fine. I'm a bit jealous I'm fine, but I'm fine. As we said, some of them aren't quite as...
Got video sound.
Well, that sounds like your problem.
Can others hear us? If you can hear us, can you say in chat?
If you can't hear us, can you say as well? We'll see. There is a small delay, I think, isn't there?
There is a small delay. I know Bob has responded to us. We were.
I mean, he could be here, could Bob? There is a possibility Bob is in the room.
I'm not getting any responses on chat.
Chat.
There we go.
Someone said chat. Well, you did say chat.
Thank you very much.
Chat, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Starting to regret that now.
Yeah, okay.
Cool, so it's just John.
Just John. Well, that's fine. Just to point out as a wonderful thing, John actually organised and arranged the Masters.
Yeah.
We just took over. Everything was handed to us. And then John's had to go to Texas, I believe.
What's it, California?
Well, it's somewhere in America.
Somewhere in America.
Somewhere in America.
It's a small country, you might have heard of it.
Yeah. Everything's pretty close by, isn't it, though?
Yeah. He's gone to South Canada.
South Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
North Mexico. You better be playing the interesting drinking game. I've already had 3. I think they said 3 so far.
I will not be playing a drinking game today.
Not again.
No, not again.
No. So, yeah, just a bit of shuffling with it. Where is the mounted crudger? I just thought, actually.
It was in the top right. It was next to crudger.
Dom does tend to play his mounted individuals quite cagily, which I think is a bit of a shame. For example, here, if he was on the right-hand corner, he could move up out of the arc and behind the hill and just be sat there and be right in the middle of the open. There's no reason to keep them with your lines because you've got such manoeuvrability. Well, that sounds a lot like your problem. I don't know. Well, hopefully everybody else is staying on.
So we are showing good stream quality, well, as much as we can do. We're not showing any dropped frames.
So we're on turn 2.
Ooh, encoding overloaded. That was just briefly. Right, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Is anyone else having problems with it going on and off?
Don't say chat if it is. Yeah, it's me. I'm sat in here.
So for Kings of War tournaments, the tournament organizer will be the rules query. We'll deal with any rules query. Now, what we've got this weekend is the Masters tournament. Oh, we're on turn 2. So these players all know their stuff.
Yeah.
The only query that I had was somebody who tabled their opponent, and they wanted to know, do I get the rest of my turns to grab the objectives?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. There's nothing that says the game ends when you table your opponent. But that doesn't come up very...
No. I mean, what we would normally ideally do for a tournament is the TO would obviously be sat in there with them and would just be around. This is only a 16-person tournament with the Masters. As Nick says, these players play each other quite a lot and we all tend to know the rules very well by this stage.
I think most people here play each other in tournaments all the time anyway, so they're well aware of how each person plays.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I used to play a lot of 8th edition Warhammer. Rules query are a lot more common in Warhammer days than they are in Kings of War. I think the Kings of War rules set is a lot clearer. I think any of the questions that have arisen have come up and been answered.
Yeah.
And the FAQ is fairly clear on most of them.
The answer tends to be read the rule again.
Yeah.
Not well, if you reference this bit and reference it's pretty clear.
Yeah. But I would like a vest. I'm a high vis, I'm thinking. Yeah. You know, we do find when we've run bigger events and at Clash of Kings, things like that, I'm sure more queries will come up.
You'd be surprised.
But
They don't come up that often.
Actually, no.
I'll tell you what the most common query is, having run as many events as I have. The most common query is, me and my opponent can't decide whether this is in range or not. Can you make a call?
Yeah, that one does happen. What I did see happening in here, actually, and I think the guys here have been very understanding that, you know, plans change last minute and there isn't so much a dedicated tier while us two are in streaming. They're all helping each other out in there. So there's been a lot more of, you know, can the table next to me just make a call on this, please?
Yeah. There's no ill will or anything on what the call is. People playing King's War songs, they tend to be very, very understanding that it's on the border. I'm going to be happy if it's in, but I'm not going to be disappointed if it's not. And
we always play by the rule of, if it's too close to call, roll the dice for it.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is a very fair way to
Yeah, that's usually my call as a TO. It's if it's close enough for them to call me over, then it's close enough for me to say, I don't want to make a call either way. I'm gonna dice it. And again, there's no bitterness about that. That's the fair way of doing it.
That's their problem. So, the Order of the Abyssal Hunt have shuffled up. I believe they're just out of range of 20 of the Crudger on Slasher.
I'm not sure that they are. That looks in range.
So he put dice down, but I wasn't sure what he'd measured.
Yeah, pre-measuring in Kings of War.
It is a big deal.
Helps so much.
And because there's a lot less of, I thought, I'm just at a range, not know these things. I like Kings of War a lot more than I do Warhammer. I must admit, I absolutely loved 8th edition. I grew up played a lot of it. I totally had some of the problems with it. The queries in 8th edition tended to be, I don't know where the rule is for this. And then it would stop the game for quite a while because reference this page, then reference this page, then reference this page, then reference this page. There was and then the 4 FAQs. It was TOing a Warhammer tournament was a very different prospect to TOing Kings of War tournament.
So I know that you said who you were, the other day, but Lord's there. I think he's having the skipping problems as well. We're not showing the stream showing healthy here. If it gets really bad, if it gets too bad, then let us know. What we'll do is take the stream offline for a second, drop the video quality a couple of steps, and then reconnect, and that should help out with any skipping problems. So we've been talking lots, we've not been really talking about the game much.
Oh, there's a game on. We've got dice rolling.
This is Archer Horde. Do they have?
No, this is Breath Attack, I believe.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, on the Horde. I like it, actually, on the Horde. I think that's a good shout.
9,
That's something that he's not going to be able to ping off as easily. The Knight Regiments have got a fairly good shout against each
troll unit.
Yeah, whereas that big Horde alone doesn't. Yeah. Trolls are up there now and are now an issue for that. I mean, obviously he can turn the beast.
Oh, I know what the audio issues will be. It's because it cuts off under a certain volume. So if I turn the volume up a little bit...
See, it's Nick's fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
So the wardrobe's coming out. Now, whether the wardrobe's coming out
to
rally those two or to go for those two, I'm not sure.
Aggressive Dom. So yeah, Dom's forcing the issue at this point. Is
I'm not sure I like that move though, but I have to say, because I didn't see exactly how much damage they took, but there's a potential that they're in a risky position there, because you could put both.
Well, it was a strong nerve roll. It was a nerve roll of 9.
It's a big odd though, isn't it? So I would guessing it'd be a double 6 to waver.
Yeah,
but I would. You could potentially, by using the beasts properly, not be a hindered charge with the knights, and put a beast and the knights in. You've got a lot coming in your flank if you do that.
Yeah. So Jesse asks, what's the time limit on the game? Is it auto loss if you time out, or is that a thing of the past? I never play on clock. We've not got timeout rules for.
No, so it's dice down for this tournament. So it was 55 minutes per player. If you time out, you immediately put your dice down. You don't roll any more dice. There's no penalty in this one. A couple of tournaments will have a auto lose, which I really don't like. Some tournaments will have a tournament point penalty for timing out. Mm-hmm. I don't dislike that as a TO because it's really helpful for keeping people to time.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how annoying it is when people are still playing games and you've got a room of 30 people wanting to move on, and one person is holding up the entire tournament. It can derail everything. It can derail people getting public transport home and everything. But what we have here is simply dice down, and then you've just got to sit there and watch as your opponent takes the rest of your list off.
Yep. Which actually I did against Dom at Clash of Kings a couple of years back. Played against Dom, and unfortunately he timed out, and I had 2 complete turns.
Yeah.
Where he couldn't respond, and because I knew that he couldn't respond, I could do moves that I otherwise wouldn't do because I'm exposing my flank to you.
Yeah.
Don't care because you can't charge me.
And it's no dice rolls at all. So it's
no dice, no moving.
regen, no checks. So if you time out mid-turn, doesn't matter if you've done 60 points of damage to your opponent. If you time out at that stage where you're not rolling the nerve check on that one, fine. They count as held.
Yeah.
For all the purposes, which it does occasionally come up as relevant. So it's a massive downside, but it stops that impending doom quite so much. Especially if your opponent's only got a minute or so left as well. The clock, I think, there's a bit of debate about clocks, and I don't really agree with a lot of the negatives of it, but it's not the end of the world if you do time out.
No.
It just keeps tournaments running to time, more than anything else.
It's not just 2 minutes of time. You can have dice down at round end, but that can be unfair on people.
I find that really, really unfair.
Yeah.
Talking again of Warhammer, I think the only game of Warhammer I really didn't enjoy was you were only 4 turns in, and I used to play Warriors of Chaos that were fast and ran in and punched you. You'd play against certain armies, lizardmen, for example, where your opponent would take literally an hour to do 1 turn, and then I would take 10 minutes, and then they would take 40 minutes, and I would take 10 minutes. And it was just unbelievably unfair because it benefited them because they were alpha striking and took more of my army off in turns 1 and 2, where I needed turn 4, 5 and 6 to get in and kill you. Well, I lost the game because you spent too long thinking about it. Yeah. And there was nothing I could do. That is unbelievably crap. Yeah. as a wargaming thing. That's just, why would anybody ever want to do that? I don't understand why you want to go back to a situation of doing that. It was just shit.
But I mean, I've played in tournaments on clock. I've played in tournaments off clock. I've been to the US tournaments and played in the UK tournaments. And when people say, the clock reduces the social side, it doesn't.
No, at all.
Absolutely not.
No.
That I've played in both, and it doesn't.
And I've played both blind drunk. Yeah, and absolutely fine. The clock is there, I think, as a tool, isn't it? Just to make sure there's parity and it's fairness. Yeah. And I've been to more laid back tournaments where I have timed out, and my opponent's gone, "Oh, don't worry," because we've been chatting and we've been laughing, it's that kind of game, and there's plenty of time left in the round. They've just said, "Don't worry." But whereas if my opponent timed out and I had an hour left on my clock, I'd maybe think that a bit differently because I think, well, you've been taking the mick then, haven't you, with your times, but.
So back to the game for a second. So the Crutron Slasher has charged the Brotherhood Knights, the Order of the Abyssal Hunt.
I'm not sure what I think about that. I think Rich wanted it. He is, interestingly, he's sort of boxed himself in that corner.
Well, he's forcing the issue at that point. He's getting down.
All right. What's Dom doing now? I don't know. I'm not watching. He's forced the issue, but he has put himself in a position where, with the angle is turned at, that he can't now get the individual in as well. Yeah,
I think some of the positioning here has been a bit of a mistake. It's nice that he's forcing the issue by effectively forcing the slasher to come to you. However, he's not overlapped his arcs, so when the slasher bounces, and it may not bounce, there is a risk that it could kill that unit. He hasn't got anything that's overlapping, which will take out the crushing next turn.
You know, the counter charge will be. It's got the crushing. There is Bane Chant in the system, I believe. I think the formation gives the individual between the two regiments Bane Chant, doesn't it? So he could move over and Bane Chant. You know, it will be a good whack back, especially with Vicious. But as you say.
Yes, the White Knights and Attila asks if the White Knights in the Centre of Redemption. That's correct, yes. Yeah. Sorry.
It would be better if it positioned it so the individual could also come join in. Yeah.
It's that couple of extra points of damage. You know, the number of times that Brutal has swung combat.
Oh, yeah.
And you think about... you know, if you can get an individual in there and do an extra couple of points of damage, that's enough to swing a combat.
Yeah. And especially that one, who is the monster hunting individual. You know, it'll be on twos by that point, wouldn't it? It's under us as well. It'd be 3s and 2s with this. You know, you could very easily do 3 points of damage there. just move the trees. Here it is. So that is where I would think the individual should have been.
Yeah.
Last turn. Potentially even hidden. I mean, I know you couldn't be on the hill because the guys would have charged you, but you could have been hidden behind the hill.
Yeah.
Just in that hole, just ready to
do something. Yeah.
Yeah. And if this stays at stalemate for the whole game, it's in Dom's favour.
Yeah.
Ooh, now in backing up and there's no tokens back there. I think that's a big mistake there, backing up. You're taking yourself out of contention for a lot because there's a big forest blocking your line of sight. Now, you're going to have to make sure you get chances where you're not in the trees, but if you can somehow manage it, you've effectively taken a huge horde of orcs out of the game. I think if I was Dom there, I would have just pushed forward into those trees.
Yeah.
You're going to get charged. You're going to have to accept you're going to get charged.
Yeah, he can't avoid it. And he can't avoid... largely, he can't avoid hindered charges either.
No, I think the Pathfinder one's in the middle.
Yeah.
There. So...
Order of the Redemption isn't Pathfinder, and of course there's the obstacle. However, those trees aren't going to stop the Order of the Brotherhood Knights.
No. Oh, it's backing up with the trolls as well.
I would not be backing up there.
I'm not sure what you get from that, Dom. I'm really not. So from what I was just saying, that stalemate favours Dom. Well, it doesn't here because
Dom's backed off. If Dom was aggressively stalemating.
Yeah. But in this situation here, Rich holds those, the centre point, the right point, and the bow point, and the point with the bowman. If
it goes too long, then Dom might not have enough time to get forward and kill the knight regiments.
No, exactly.
And take the tokens.
I mean, he does out-unit strength him everywhere, as it all holds. But he does have overlap, does Rich at the minute.
Dom is taking a long time with this, I have to say. He's down to 25 minutes, I think that looks like, compared to Rich's 40.
Yeah.
That can really come back to bite.
Did Rich go first as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not even rolling dice at the minute.
No. I think his time might come back and bite him in this game.
Right. He's going to have to make some quick decisions.
Yeah, he's going to end up rushing.
Yeah.
And
this here is my example of
overthinking.
Exactly, but this is perfectly fine and fair. That if you want to use your time this way, that's fine. But if we were getting towards round end and Rich had effectively almost an hour less time than you, it would be an incredibly unfair situation. I would feel, but this is fine because we're on the clock. If you decide to use your time, and it could be actually that this is a pivotal turn for Dom. And he wants to invest this amount of time into it, knowing that actually when he gets
it's going to pay off.
He's just going to be pushing things forward and rolling dice. Yeah, that's fine. Always backing off everywhere.
I'm not sure that is the case. No. He's backing off. He's not setting stuff up. He's backing off.
And this is a very similar situation to what we saw Dom's game against Tom.
He's just flipped the time over without rolling his damage for a slasher.
Oh yeah, he has.
Shall I go and tell them because he does have to roll it?
Yeah.
No, they've noticed. Yeah, so when it comes to turning your time over, if you've got combats, you do actually have to take your time back and resolve them. It's not allowed in the rules not to roll attacks, so you have to take them. So is that 4 damage put on the 3 or 4 damage put on the knights there? That's good. That's a good hold, and they're going to do significant damage back to that slasher. Don't know where the hell he's got again. He left me alone again. Yeah, I agree, Attila. Just commenting that Dom wasn't aggressive yesterday. I think this Dom's list is a solid list, but I do think that you have to be aggressive. You have to force your opponents by getting right up in their face. You do have decent staying power to weather some frontal charges, but you really want to be forcing the issue. The fact that you are so slow means that you need to get right up in your opponent's face. I'm good for now.
Sorry, I've been doing pastry drum.
So Attila commented that Dom wasn't being aggressive yesterday either.
No.
I was just saying that
He's not very orky, is he?
No, well, I was saying that this is a list which would suit aggression, getting right up in someone's face.
Yeah.
You know, come at me. Don't give them the chance to manoeuvre around you, because you are slow. You're not going to be able to respond to manoeuvres fast.
Especially here, because
Dom needs to be on this side, on the middle of the board.
If you push right up to them, you negate all of that advantage of the speed.
Yeah.
If you really, really push forward, I mean, Pathfinder, I was questioning it, but it would be perfect here. And he's not using it. He could have made a march move straight through those woods. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, when you're in 10 inches away, well, you're paying all those points speed 8 you don't need.
Yeah. You don't have to come all the way out the woods. You can sit at the edge of the woods so that the Order of Redemption is at least hindered. And I would say that Great Axe Order would probably weather.
Yeah. So he's managed to turn in such a way that I think he's in the front with both. Oh, he's trying to.
I'm going to have to nip for a comfort break.
I don't know. I'll sit and chat to myself. And again, so the lack of aggression is now meaning that he's going to get another 20 breath attacks on that horde. One of the horde, maybe both the trolls can now charge, but one will be hindered and ensnared, one will just be ensnared. You're not gaining much, and you've not gained anything from backing off there. And if Rich is patient here, he'll just put himself back into charge range and give Dom the same decision all over again of, do I back off or do I come forward this time? If I was Rich, I almost be tempted not to move at all here. Just shuffle the Brotherhood Knights right, capturing that point, and then just wait. You lose nothing in the situation. You don't need to charge, you don't need to do anything. So here, I'm going to completely contradict what I said, where I think the Brotherhood don't need to play kill anymore. They can now play the objective. If Dom had been aggressive and taken the initiative, I think they would have had to just play kill and try to mop up what they could. But whereas now, the Brotherhood don't need to. They've got that massive threat range. The only sort of downside is, and this is what I think Dom necessarily isn't realising, that Rich doesn't want to be charging off, because if he charges off, he's not charging towards the point, he's charging away from the points. So he wants to stay back a little bit. Rich wants that fight in the middle as much as he can, but obviously wants to get the first charge. So Dom needs to be moving up. I don't know if Dom missed the fact that the Order of the Brotherhood could charge an individual on the hill, but that's a big deal. I think that was a very nice placement for him, but if he'd just been off the hill, he could have really been causing issues. The Villigan's moving up there is nice because the Brotherhood Knight should kill that individual, turn round, and then again he's threatening that whole area, that whole flank. He doesn't even need to go for the Gore Riders to have any impact. He's just shutting down that whole side again. And then in later turns can charge in and capture that point. And you're probably originally going to have the going to have the Order of the Abyssal Hunt backing them up. I mean, the individual hardly couldn't do anything this time. So, is that first breath weapon? No, is that both weapons? Oh, is that weakness? Oh, I like it. I like that a lot. So, I believe, yeah, he just cast weakness on the Axe Horde. So you're now going to have hindered, ensnared, weakened Axe Horde trying to kill a beast who is also, I believe, inspired. Yeah, inspired from... Oh no, not inspired. Oh yes, it'll be inspired from the Order of Redemption. That's a tough fight for him there. And he's now going to get breath attacked. Oh, Dom. It's not a great roll. No, it's not ideal, is it? It's like another 4, I think, there. Yeah, completely outranged there. I do think Gyro of the Four Winds is a lovely item on units like that. It just means that they can do something every single game. Oh, double one. If there was ever a turn to double one, that's it. Yeah, I really like what Richard set up there. That's sort of the perfect combination of denial is weakness, ensnare, hindered, inspiring. I don't think there's any kind of manoeuvring where that Horde can charge anything other than that Forsaken Beast. Ooh, that was a good roll. So this is the Elite Order of the Forsaken. Order of the Abyssal Hunt. So Elite and Vicious here. Oh, that's a very good roll. And Vicious coming in. He's going to do a lot of damage here. Oh, that is a good roll. Ouch. That is 12 damage on the Crudgeron Wing Slasher.
Ooh, that's tasty.
Yeah. Just to fill you in here over here, Nick. So we have now weakness, hindered, and ensnare.
Oh! I mean, good luck. So it's going to be hitting on 6s.
Yeah.
25 attacks hitting on 6s, winning on 5s.
So nerve check for the Crusher over here. This is going to be a big roll.
17.
That'll do it. No, that individual managed to get in the flank. It's gone.
Oh!
Right then. That is
big.
Big, very big. So,
unfortunately,
he left his Crudger in range of.
Was that deliberate or was it?
I don't know. Yeah, ouch.
I wouldn't have deliberately done that myself.
No. So he's moved the villains up to chaff the.
Yep. Give him an extra turn to advance up.
Potentially now going to kill these and turn. Yes. Yeah. We've been saying on chat that the lack of aggression has. It's just left Rich. He's now pinged where he wants to ping, and I think Rich was bang on right there. He didn't advance, didn't really do anything. He just turned his beast round, left himself, gave Dom the exact same choice next turn of what he does. Does he carry on backing up? He'd just move forward a little bit, bring himself in range, everything, but I don't think he would actually charge. Yeah, it kills him there. So this is going to be a spin.
I hate to say it, but I think Rich may have left a flank open on his Order of the Abyssal Hunt, not the Order of Redemption.
With the big Orc Horde.
Yeah.
I would potentially, whether he's in range at speed 10, speed 5 there, and whether he has the pivot to do it, because he has to get right past.
No, he can bump and pick up and place.
No, but I mean whether he can get past this beast. I mean he's not checking it.
No, if he's not checking.
Yeah.
If he went forwards, directly forward, but then pivoted clockwise instead, he would contact the corner of the Order of the Abyssal Hunt.
Yeah, you are right,
I keep saying it, Order of Redemption. And then because it's pick up and place, he would pick it up and it'd be in the flank. Now, it would be hindered.
Oh, anyway, he didn't see
weakness,
that.
but he didn't see it. I think I would have taken that over the...
the ensnared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is going for that one. I think that's a really good move, is that Dom there going for that, the wardroom going for the token.
But then where else is he going to hold tokens? I think that's the problem at this point.
I think what he will need to do, that would have been a move if everything else was moving up aggressively. But I think it's a nice one there. It holds the 1.
Yeah.
So he's now countered the bowman. That's effectively neutralised that one. Nothing's going to get over to get that. You're not going to commit a unit of knights now.
No.
Or an individual.
Way too late in the game for that.
So he has that one now. The 2 units here, the trolls can back up to take it later on if needed, or the actual can, so that's potentially a 2.
I take it the best attack
only did 4 points of damage, I think, in the end. Wasn't very much. It was fairly bad to hit roll, both of them together. Yeah, nothing more. That was a very good roll. I mean, he had elite on them, but I think have they got 18 or 16 attacks? 18 attacks. I think he got something like 15 hits. In
fairness, that's not unfeasible.
It's not way off, no, but then to do 12 damage from that with the crushing, it was.
Yeah.
It did have bench on them though. He brought bench on from over here.
Well, then that's pretty deadly then at that point.
I think he had bench on them. Anyway, he definitely killed them. Anyway.
That's the important bit.
Yeah, they are dead. So yeah, he's got 9 minutes behind Rich now after that turn.
We're on turn 3.
We are. Oh, so I think
this is what I should have done last turn.
One slight mistake I think Rich did make there is I would have backed off with the Little Hunt individual, and then gone D6 onto the hill.
Definitely.
Just so because that hill is now entirely blocking his line of sight. You can't see anything. Whereas you won't have a huge amount of range, but you've got some threat projection. As it is now, you're effectively out of the game for. You need a turn of moving up, and then you can do something.
Yeah.
Dom still does have a lot of overlapping threat.
He does. Rich has to properly commit next turn now. Yeah. He can't avoid it for any longer at this point.
I mean, Rich has the tools to. I don't think this beast is going to die here.
I doubt it.
I mean, we're on 6s. 6s followed by 4s because they're crushing 2. So it would have been 3s, now down to 4s.
No, that's the Axe Lord, not Great Axe.
The Axe Lord has the real strength.
Oh, right, yes.
So they're both crushing 2.
Right.
So yeah, 6s followed by 2s. Oh, is this the Troll Horde first, is it? Oh yeah, these are only on 5s.
Only.
Yeah. Oh, there's maps something. Oh, no. Oh, shooting. Somewhere. Onto the other one.
Fireball.
Aye.
From the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, speaker.
Yeah. Believe it or not. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, go forward, Dom. I think if you don't go forward here, I think when they bounce off the inch, if they do charge, your trolls can't see them.
Yeah. And actually, I think knights on Gauls, that's going to be...
They should do it in one.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
But like I say, even if they don't, they're fairly safe the next turn. I'd say you're almost certain to at least waver them.
Oh, but you're not going to charge across there. Go forward. You need to go forward there, Dom. You do. He's overthinking it. I get what he's looking at. He doesn't want to get flanked, but would you really commit your knights right over to the other side of the board? You might do.
It would. It in position on the flank.
Yeah.
and then when Dom turns to face the knights that had ran all the way over there, and when he does that, it's an extra turn where he's not moving on to the objectives.
Yeah.
And I think at this point the bow horde is going to be able to start taking shots now.
So tell you what my next turn would be for Rich at the minute. If I was doing it, watching this, I would have assuming he survives, the beast countercharging the horde, the axe horde, the other beast charging the trolls on the left, put both knights into the middle orcs, and then you use this individual to the left of the hill to chaff the trolls, and then charge the on the right into the Gore Riders. You're in combat with everything. Every combat is in your favour.
Everything's locked down.
And then you've also got a regiment of Abyssal Hunt as backup.
Yeah.
And then with the angles with the trolls on the left, next to the axe horde, I don't think that could see anything.
No, I agree.
So you win on every. Well, I don't think you kill everything, everyone. I don't think you kill much of it, to be honest.
I think you got a decent shout against the Great Axe Horde. I mean, so the Order of the Brotherhood, they're going to be hitting straight threes and.
So we got 6 damage from the first roll.
Oh,
that was from the trolls. I think no. I'm not sure they took into account everything there. Seem to be hitting on 5s. Or do axe hit on 3s normally?
No, 4s.
I think he picked out 5s there.
Okay.
Either way, he's bounced. Because he seems to have taken 10 damage overall, which is a lot more than I would expect. I think Dom may have picked out 5s, but I'm not sure. Right then, so this is. Did Rich go first?
Yes.
So this is Rich's turn 4.
So they do need to be thinking about their end game at this point.
They do, definitely. Now, Dom has done, as you say, what he should have done the previous turn, I think. He's now putting pressure on they have to do something. Everything's in charge rage. Interestingly, Dom did the exact same thing. Fred just predicted the next steps. Yep,
that was an obvious one.
I might have the angle there actually, so we'll need to use it potentially with it. Hard to see from here, but I don't think actually he'll be able to see
the trolls. Yeah,
trolls will be able to see.
Trolls will be able to see. Yeah.
Bouncers. He's looking at those trolls. He kind of wants to charge the trolls.
Don't split your forces up.
Yeah, I think you have to put both into one. You've got one with Pathfinder, one with a butt ton of attacks,
and Brewer Strength.
Yeah, commit.
I think you've got a good shot of taking that Great Axe Horde out in one hit.
Oh, but he wants to split him, and he wants to do it. He's got the individual there. He's got the tools to chap everything.
Yeah.
Because if he does take it, you just turn your both knights opposite directions back to back.
Yeah, and you're safe.
And then you've got it then, haven't you?
Well, I think that'd be game at that point.
Yeah, I think it would.
I do say that far too readily myself, but...
It's not good that I've got custard on
It's not. No.
Oh, it is. Right, yep. Have at you, sir.
Yep, he's doing it.
Well,
good.
I don't know, because he still keeps looking at that troll horde.
Nope, he
doesn't want to be hidden, does he? He's nervous about going to the trees.
Yeah.
He's putting beast in, yeah. Right. Do I get a medal if I get it all right? Oh, he's doing it. Is he doing it? Is he doing it?
You gonna do it? He's gonna do it. Go on.
If I get all right, do I count as officially being in the Masters?
No, you do not.
Kapla! Yes, I'm right. Yeah, I think it's the right move because I hold it.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I would do in that situation. Yeah. You've got a really good chance of breaking that horde. Even with a hinder charge on the Order of Redemption, there's still 20 attacks hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
Yeah. Now, second beast, is he potentially wavered or something?
No, wounding on 2s because it's Thunderous Charge 2, and you only lose 1 Thunderous. So yeah, it's.
Now, he hasn't moved the second beast yet. I don't think he's wavered. I I'm not sure if it would matter if he is. That'd be a bad. If he does move the Forsaken Beast, that'd be a bad placement. I think if Forsaken Beast might be wavered, I wouldn't be surprised seeing he's on 10 damage.
Yeah.
So he doesn't quite have all the pieces in place. Sadly, no, he doesn't have an earpiece. As much as I love Richard, we're not feeding him information. If they could listen in, then you would hope Dom would have been listening a bit earlier from this. As I'm going, don't do that! Don't do it! No, the only person you can hear through the whole building is Dan King.
Yes.
He gets very passionate.
The thing is, we've got the audio capture here. You can see when Dan's talking because you see it bouncing.
It spikes.
My microphone's picking him up from 2 rooms away.
That's the reason they had him on stream at Clash of Kings. You can hear him anyway. Just solid. Make it official. I mean, I totally like and agree with what I've done. Oh, would you not charge him? Does he want the bayonet instead?
He's going to shoot him with the archers.
Are they in range?
I think so. They've moved forward.
They have moved right. So this is weakness on the trolls. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so weakness and just keep that beast hanging around. So
I know what I meant to do. I took some photos just
this
now.
What is this? All matters prayer. I mean, let the fire out. So I healed off all the damage from the second beast that's gone to the trolls. Matters prayer. I'm assuming the beast is wavered. He hasn't done anything with it. It did take 10 damage, so it wouldn't be surprised if it was wavered.
It only takes a 5 at that point.
So he has just rolled a Bane enchant. He's rolled 2 dice, which I assume is a Bane enchant.
Yeah, Don was just questioning whether he could. I don't think he could.
I don't think he could, no. I think it would have to have been a march.
Shall I go and say?
Well, they're checking out I don't know. We don't know, do we? We're not.
Just double check.
Yeah, we'll double check. Ooh, that looks like a good roll. Oh no, it's on falls.
They picked up on it.
Yeah.
They knew.
They're on it. So that's what rolled. I'm not sure what it was for. Oh, shooting. So yes, the bowhole was in range. Ooh, and a 10.
Oh!
Is that a waver? I don't know. There's no marker if it is. But it could be a waver. I didn't see how much damage went through in the end.
The trolls will be, what, 14, 17?
Yeah, they've got a fairly low waver.
So with 10, I would say that's more than likely a waver.
So this is the knight into the Gore Riders, I believe.
We didn't ask them to point.
Oh, you just did quite good pointing. Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage there. Looks like 9. On a 13-15, that should be at least a waver. Oh, well, that'll do it. Double 6.
There we go.
I mean, it needed average rolls, but, why do average when you can... you can measure. Now, your question is, what do you do with that measurement now? Because that's also a point. So you now, again...
It's a good enough threat. You can do either.
I think maybe you have to try and deal with the trolls if the trolls fail to kill. If the trolls are wavered, I think you have to charge the trolls and then back off again.
Yeah. I think he's got enough move to do that and back off and be within.
But if not, you've got the Abyssal Hunt.
Well, it's still got.
It's got plenty of turns, hasn't it?
It's got enough turns to do it.
So this here, I believe, is the second Brotherhood regiment. This is the one going with the Pathfinder. Oh, that's all damage. That's 10 to start with. And now 20 attacks. This is 4s and... Is it defense 4 for the Great Axe? It's 4s and 2s, isn't it? Yeah. So I took 10 to start with. I've got 20 on 4s and 2s. Oh, that's a good roll as well. I think. No, maybe not. It's an average roll. An average roll. I saw 4s.
Slightly above.
I saw some 4s.
I could have sworn that Rich picked out the 4s. Oh, that's very nice though.
That's another 9. 19.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
It's what we expected, but...
It's exactly what we said he should have done as well. Two cavalry regiments into the horde. Well, that'll do it. Ready for the double ones? Ready for the double ones? No.
It's...
You know, I've not seen a single double one. Well, actually, we saw one double one earlier this game, but it was irrelevant.
So, if those trolls are wavered, I would be turning both knights to the left.
Yeah. So we will find out here.
In fact, I'd probably still turn both of them to the left.
I agree. Actually, you've already got 2 regiments looking that way.
Oh, he's gonna, because there's an objective under his head.
There is.
And I don't see Dom getting to that.
And you've got this. I should know because he's now seeing things. If he had turned to the left as well, he can't see anything, can he?
Yeah. I suppose he could have done with turning just a little bit more.
And also, I suppose his threat projection now that's a big.
Yeah.
Where he's looking, there's not much of the board
that isn't covered
by a knight regiment. In fact, there isn't not really any, is there? That's of the field that's being used at the minute. Double one.
It's got to come up at some point.
I can't hear what he's saying, but I can imagine with the point he's saying, why couldn't you have done that there? As he's gesturing towards where his horde used to be. That's 2 double ones this game, neither of which were relevant double ones. Yeah, so they were wavered. They're backing off. I don't think that's enough to get them out of the flank of the knights. No regen. Oh.
I mean, in fairness,
bit of regen.
In fairness, even if it's not the flank, you can still get both of those units in. That's definitely enough.
Definitely it. I really wish I hadn't got custard in my beard.
Sorry?
I've got custard in my beard from my breakfast pastries.
I think those trolls had to take a flank on the beast.
Yeah, I think you're right. It could have done with backing the beast up ever so slightly, couldn't it? I don't think that would have stopped any of the blocking, but we'll just shove it out of the way. The trolls here, I think, could charge the knights through a pivot, as you were saying before.
Corkscrew, you can do it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Was that right?
It was
terrific. How are you feeling?
It's supposed to be a slow army and
It was on top of you.
in turn 3.
What was it?
Obsidian golems.
Oh, yeah, it's 6 first, isn't it? It should be.
Okay, what's Dawn doing now then? So he's not. Ooh, thank you. I have cookie. Dawson done some interesting stuff.
No. Good interesting or bad interesting?
Interesting. Not what I would have done.
Well, I'm not currently looking at the screen, so I'm going to take a guess and say, has he not been particularly aggressive?
He's not been particularly aggressive, no.
I mean, there's not much a Christian could do, but... Right, so let's put both back into the B.
They should be flanks because it wasn't a counter charge.
Yeah, anyway. Wasn't me.
Yes, it was, I saw you. Right, Rich, turn 5.
I think it may be all over but the crying, yeah.
I don't know, there's still that big block of axe on the board, that's...
There is, actually. There is, and you can't decide what to do about that. Because if that touches a single knight regiment, it will die. There's a lot of crushing there.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, we're not eating cookie. We'll talk in a minute. We have cookies.
Yep.
That's what you all tuned in for. So what do you do? I mean, I like that, sending both of them, because you get the reform. Whether he can turn them in such a way that they'll be hidden... Actually, they're on the wall, aren't they, the axes?
Yeah.
So that's really helpful for him, that he knows that no matter what, they're going to be hindered off it. He's got the individual, whether he chaffs the axes with it. Although the beast, actually, he's holding them in place quite well.
I mean, the action still get the flank on the Order of Redemption if they're still stuck there.
But you imagine there won't be.
I don't know.
No, right, well, it's 4s and 2s again. It 4s and 3s this time, it's defense 5.
He's got the Bane chant he can use.
It's true. No, that's very true. Yeah, they did. So, do you just bring your other Brotherhood Knights down and pivot them?
Are you risking a double 1 rear charge on those trolls? Or from those trolls?
Yeah, he's moving the individual around. And I'm not sure that
I think for safety I would have kept him in front. So
time is 12 minutes for Dom, 18 for Rich. I don't think that Dom's time is good.
No, it looked like it was gonna be an issue.
But then lost all his units.
Yeah.
Which for him is helpful because it sped up the time a lot.
Yeah, so what I was just saying there, the combat in the top right with the knights into the flank of the trolls, you would say that's pretty much a guarantee, but you shouldn't rely on that.
No, especially when for very little you can prevent it.
Yeah, so what we're saying is you should have kept the individuals in front of the trolls. Then if it is a double 1, those trolls aren't getting a flank or rear on a key unit and taking an objective as well. That's the other risk.
I'm wrecking the entire line there, aren't they, really, to do that? That could have been easily solved. Turning here, I like, actually. The Pathfinder out there. They're not at any risk.
But he is just risking that troll horde. And I think this is one of the differences.
Mass prayer, I think, yeah. So all the damage, some of the damage gone.
I think this is one of the differences between the people who sort of accept the double 1s and people who don't like it is actually in this situation I would protect myself from the double 1.
Yeah, you play for it, don't you? You play assuming it's going to come. Yeah. Especially because there's no downside to playing for it here.
No, in this case, there's no downside.
That individual doesn't need to be... I'm not really sure what the individual's doing up there.
Especially because it's got the Bane chant, it can do something quite useful in the centre.
And isn't...
And if you think about the next few turns, he may well be needed right in the middle of the board, and he might not be able to reach with his Bane chant.
Oh no, yeah, it's So he just Bane chanting. That's what he was there for. There you are. I mean, odds are he won't double, won't it? Probably, maybe.
We know it's going to come up now.
So this is lots of dice.
What's it?
Oh, is this the archers?
It must be.
Is that our target? It must be combat, wasn't it? This is too many dice. Who's on this? Oh, it's the flank. This is the dice into the flank. This is why he's got 36 dice, 32 dice. It's got 16 attacks, haven't it? Well, they're on double ones. Oh, well, I wanted it to happen. I didn't, but...
Do you know what he has done by putting the individual there? He blocks him from just doing the backup. That man, you've got another turn, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that individual could have been sat anywhere towards the centre.
He could, and
he's not going to be in use in the next turn, I don't think.
He's not choice that one, I think.
I'm not sure I would have Bane chanted those knights. Anyway,
I need it.
No.
Twos anyway. Oh, no, threes anyway.
Be threes.
Yeah.
So, but 32 attacks. Yeah. I'm still not going to Bane chant that. I'd much rather Bane chant the Order of the Forsaken.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're going to be reduced to wounding on. They're going to be wounding on threes.
Threes themselves.
It'd be very nice if you could get them to wounding on twos.
Yeah, because you could really do with it killing that.
And I'm pretty sure that he could have sat that individual in front of the troll horde and done the Bane chant.
Yeah. So this is the Order of Redemption.
Yep.
Hindered.
If there's lots of threes and twos in this, then like that.
Like that, yeah. So that was 5 damage, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
On the beast.
That's a low roll. Oh, still enough though.
Yeah. It was already damaged. It had taken a pummeling. Beast. So I don't think with any amount of shenanigans. Is it sure it's rear to it? Oh, yeah. The model physically won't.
Yeah, the model physically won't.
I'm assuming they're saying yes that way. I don't think there's any amount of shenanigans that can get that axe horde into the Redemption Knights now.
I can do it. If that monster is where it's supposed to be, I can do it.
Should be an inch back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do your move forward and bump. Move forward.
Turn completely
pivot
around, yeah. Though we're assuming that.
But they've not done that. They've had several opportunities to do that so far throughout this game. Neither of them have done it, so I don't think that tactic is in their repertoire.
Where are you going?
So,
there's no token.
What we're talking about, if it's not clear, is when you make contact with a unit. It doesn't matter where you make contact. You pick up and place the unit in a line with the face. What you can often do is just pivot the unit slightly so that you actually contact a unit that you want to charge.
You effectively turn into them, rather than moving into them.
Yeah, that's exactly. You turn into them.
So here, for example, the horde potentially turn left, effectively, swinging its right
counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Then it could
tap the corner. In which case, you picked up and placed.
Yeah.
Into the correct position with them.
I mean, if it did that, then it's getting.
It is, but it is anyway, I suppose, isn't it? Is the problem?
That's true.
I'm not sure there's much Dom can do here. This is where you probably want to use some of your 10 minutes just to have a think, but... So I think playing the objective, Dom has... It's turn 5, is it?
Yeah.
So Dom has only got one more turn.
Yeah, potentially two.
If he gets a 7, he's turned his war drum around and is making a beeline for the top left pillage token. The Troll Lord can back up. That's another one. So he then has 3, potentially, with a 7. Also, then he has to deny. You can play for the draw.
Yeah.
You can play for the win with the middle one, because there is a middle token there, there's still a horde there.
I think that's what he's tempted to do, so
I think that has to be a play here, doesn't it? You have to...
He's still got an individual, so he can chaff something.
Yeah. You can use the wall. You can move your horde over.
Oh, I see what he's doing. He's charging the Forsaken Beast.
But he's put the individual in the way.
Put the individual in the way so they don't slide over. But that's going to be a hindered charge. It's going to be ensnared.
Yeah. But I suppose it puts you in a very similar position to where I was saying to be anyway.
Yeah, and you got the potential to do some damage, haven't you?
Because the Abyssal Hunt are currently sat near an objective out there, so if they charge, they're coming off it. So realistically, you can only send your Brotherhood Knights and your Knights of the Abyssal Hunt in.
Order of Redemption.
Order of Redemption, sorry, yeah, in.
Oh, I've made that.
Yeah. Because Richard's got 3 safe. Dom might have 3 safe if he gets a 7th turn. So it's all going to come down to that middle one if there's a 7th turn.
Yep.
However, if both regiments can get in, they out-unit strength it.
Yeah.
So they don't have to kill it. So it's going to come down to a bit of iffy.
He's umming and ahhing this one, isn't he?
He is. But actually, this is where you use 5 minutes of your 8 left, don't you? Whatever it is.
Weigh up your options.
Because what you do on this turn will dictate. You have to come up with a play. Something, even if it's a wild play. There's no point just doing nothing, is there? So you might as well set yourself up something. That, I think, for me, would be how I would go with it. I don't know if you can see any other ways to go for it. You could maybe swap... No, you can't really even swap around the trolls and the axes to see if there's another way around it. So I think you've got to play for that 7th. And it's all going to come down to that middle one. But I'd rather be rich in this situation if you were...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you were picking. Has Rich lost anything but his chaff so far?
A Forsaken Beast, 1 Forsaken Beast.
Yes.
So in terms of kills, it's quite a significant victory for Dom at the moment.
I mean, which point difference, if it does end up being difference of 1, that's nothing, or even 2 is nothing.
For the sake of tournament points at the moment, we're talking about.
Sorry, so the blackjack scoring system, tournament points. So if it does end on a 6, for example, and it's 3... Well, if it does end on a 6, it's tricky because this is a 3 here. If you hold this one, and it can hold 3 to 3.
They've each got 1 more turn, so...
Oh, this is 5, isn't it? It's end of
this
5.
This is 5, not 6.
No, so...
I think that Axe Horde is going to evaporate.
I think so. I think there's 6 minutes done.
And if there's a 7th turn, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Troll Horde evaporate as well. How have you done that, Dom?
It's back here.
Okay.
It's back left.
So he is using a Godspeaker's chaff.
He is. I mean, I'm not sure if those Nice Abyssal Hunt would be coming out anyway. Maybe chaffing the Brotherhood there? I'm not sure.
It would be. I think that's a kill for
but there's already damage on that axe horde, so you're sending the beast and the hindered knights, don't you?
Yeah. It was fairly significant damage as well, if I remember rightly.
It was a decent amount of shooting actually over time. You already moved that. Good. Yeah. Right then, this is a B. I mean, if he kills it, I don't think it swings anything too much, but it's definitely...
No.
It helps him. It's like a fair amount of fives.
It was hindered as well then.
Yeah. Of course, you have the wall.
Although if that gets wavered, that beast, that would
have been a big difference. It doesn't seem to have done. Didn't see the roll. That would have been a big difference, actually, wouldn't it?
Because that would have blocked the Order of Redemption.
It would. I see. I'm not sure that would be the right move to bring the Order of Bristle Hunt in. I know you've got your Brotherhood Knights that can.
See, this is where that Bane chant would have been so useful in the middle of the board.
Yeah, I mean,
and he left it too far away.
Here it comes.
But it's not going to be able to see through the forest.
No.
So it's not going to Bane chant stuff that's going into.
Yeah, it could have been somewhere very different. Yeah, your overrun's not going to help you there. Yeah, so I'm not sure the right move is to ring the Order of the Abyssal Hunt in. Because I think
he's not done it yet. He's measured it, hasn't he, to see.
But just looking at it, because you would pull yourself off the token.
Yeah.
And you would be hindered by doing that.
Thank you very much.
We're assuming that beast isn't wavered. Yeah, both going in.
Yep.
Can you see him? Is the question. With the angle. There's a big height fall monster in the way.
They were pressed right up against each other, weren't they?
There'll be a smaller gap. Well, they've never said you can. I would think they probably can. Because it's a big, wide footprint.
Yeah.
You only need to glance, don't you? Down there. So all three going in to there. And we were saying before about effectively being... It's brutal, isn't it, having the character in there. That's another 3 damage, quite consistently.
Yeah.
2 or 3 damage. So here she comes. So she, in this instance, is Martyr's Prayer. Has she got Bane Chant as well?
No.
What's her other spell? Weakness.
Weakness.
Wouldn't be a bad shout on the orcs here, rather than Martyr's Prayer. There's a bit of damage on the second beast, but I'm not sure you're too worried about that at the moment.
No. Yeah, so he's just going for maximum threat at the moment.
Exactly. So you hold that one with the potential, if you need to go in and challenge the other ones.
And do something.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've now got to a stage where you're holding 3, looking at the 4th. Yeah, it's a useful one there. I mean, if he gets a 7, you could have a go at taking the hindered charge on the trolls, and then just shuffle your other Brotherhood Knights across.
Yep.
You don't risk it, you don't lose anything there. Especially if they do break this horde, then you've got second unit of Knights doing it. If this breaks now, this axe horde, that is entirely game, isn't it? There's no way around it, because you've then got your Order of Redemption looking at your last 2 sources of things that might be grabbing tokens. So this will be Martyr's Prayer, it seems to be going for.
This is turn 6, is this?
This is turn 6, yes, it's top of turn 6. So Martyr's Prayer is taking all the damage off the second beast. Oh no, it's not all of it, sorry. Taking a few bits off. I would have potentially got weakness there. Just for the off chance he one-shots your knights.
I mean, in fairness, even if he does that, he's going to be stuck way away from the objective.
Yes,
so that almost plays into Rich's hands if
that's
if
true.
that
Actually,
happens.
So Bane Chant fails, but thinking of the blackjack scoring, that potentially swing him a tournament point.
Yeah.
If he takes that unit off. So Bane Chant failed. So it's still a good rolls there, isn't it? With Pathfinder, so. Does the God Speaker defense 4 or no?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 2s anyway. I want to do roll any 2s either, so it doesn't matter. Another 10 damage, I think, on the God Speaker. Oh, 10 damage on first time damage. Yeah, that's him gone.
Gone.
Yeah. I think you probably stay in quite a similar place there, don't you? You don't have to do much with that. Might as well stay you are.
Hello. Oh, someone there for a second.
Oh, we're all to advantage, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think what he was trying to do is to get within 3 inches of the objective in the centre.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Definitely, because he's...
If he'd have got his full advance, I think he was just in range for it.
Yeah, and again, it's all blackjack points here, the minute, isn't it? So why not in that case? So is this the
this will be the knights.
night? So wasn't as good a roll as before. But still seems a good chunk.
About 8 or so, wasn't it?
And so there's already damage on there, which kind of evens out that slightly under roll. This is the second beast. I think. Another 3. And this is the
Hero.
3, and then produce 2s. Yeah. Good roll. He's waving at us. Why is he waving? Is it alive? It survived.
Oh wow, okay.
There was a discussion going on there, I'm not sure what that was, but... So we're on to the bottom of 6. This is potentially last turn of the game. I don't think they're waving. Did these get Fury, these ones as well?
Axe.
Something has got Fury. I think it was more the mounted stuff, wasn't it, got Fury?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in 3 there, whether he's... Or if they've checked is in 3.
Depends what charges. If
Yeah,
charges the
so...
Forsaken Beast, then yeah, he's
individual it seems to be going for there.
okay. Well, yeah, because you can overrun.
Which is the best placement, I would say.
Thank you.
So, just to let you know, the first of our top 4, Adam Padley has just beaten Ed 15-6.
Oh no.
So it looks like Adam's going to be in the final. So you're going to get to see the Goblin gun line. I don't have a clue yet what's going on between Dan and George. So it'll be...
Oh, they are both anti-gun line lists.
They are both anti-gun line lists. So Dan has already played Adam this time and beat him. So it'll be a rematch if that happens.
Okay, so the hero died. Kind of expected.
With the overrun, went into
The Forsaken Beast.
Yeah. In this occasion, when you overrun and you hit both at the same time, you get to choose who you go for.
Yeah.
Forsaken Beast is, I think, the correct choice there because it keeps you on the token. You know, if nothing else here, hasn't killed him.
Right, roll for 7th.
Yeah. There it goes.
They know how crucial it is.
No. So yeah, that's the game there. So from my count, it is 3-2.
No, 3.
Hold this one here and here. So Dom holds the middle.
the upper left.
And
it's 4-3. Yeah, the wardrooms held the tokens.
So he's won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dom won it. Dom pulled
Dom
it.
wins, there you are.
Dom pulled it.
I
back.
didn't see the one there. I wasn't sure I could get that across that fast. So that's it. That again, that's the thing of we were saying. You know, the wardrooms. You know, I think I might have called that right at the very start. That your wardrooms can be the ones going after your finished counters. But it shows that we did say at that point he's still got that big axe hold left, and needs to you know, do something with it. That it's punchy, isn't it? Potentially sending the individual in turns out to be a mistake in hindsight, but you know that's in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Letting you pull it across there. I think potentially a bigger mistake was not having the individual further across the Bane chant. The Knights of the Abyssal Hunt.
I think that
it looked like it came down to 1 or 2 damage.
Yeah, because they were umming and ahhing about it for a bit, weren't they?
Yeah, a big swing.
So that would have potentially won the game.
Yeah, it would, and you maybe could have used the wizard to block the move across. That's all. The wizard is sat behind all that and doesn't really need to be. She potentially could have been more around to block.
Yeah, so she could have run up and sat between the axe and the wall and blocked them from moving across. So
a fairly big swing at a big swing at the end there, but it shows, doesn't it? You got to play the scenario all the way through. I mean, the kill difference will be massive in this. That Rich would have killed a lot more, but and he is sat on a lot of tokens.
So the tournament point difference is going to be 0 for the objectives.
Yep.
So Rich is actually going to do really well on the kills.
The kill difference, which could
it'll
more
be
towards the draw.
2.
Yeah.
+2, -2. So that would be what a.
So that's at 14-7, so 12-9. So bring it closer to a draw in terms of points, which I think would feel fair.
Yeah.
He certainly killed a lot more.
Yep.
And at the end there, played it exactly as you had to do. Mm-hmm. You know, and then this is what I was saying. It's great to have that strategy right at the end because I think I was almost writing Dom off. To
be honest, I think I was as well.
But it shows, doesn't it, that he still had elements in his list that could do it. In the end, actually, that axe hold is the only thing that really fought a meaningful combat all game. But when it needed to. It did it, you know, it killed the individual across. I can't really think of any other meaningful combat of any of his holds all game.
No, nothing decisive.
The Gore Riders killed Chaff, but that's it really, I think.
But of course, because Rich had the speed, he was able to dictate the battle, and Dom wasn't aggressive enough in his open. Well, we say he wasn't aggressive enough. He won, but for the situation, he wasn't aggressive enough, and he was a turn late in getting into Rich's face. Yeah. And I guess if he'd have done that, then this could have been it wouldn't have been a close. It might not have been a close game. It might have been quite strongly in Dom's favour.
I mean, turn 7 would obviously swing it, wouldn't it? But you know that's the game, isn't it? It's a random game of the game. So well done to Dom. You know, that was I thought that was a really good game.
Yes.
To watch there for our penultimate game.
Yep.
It shows you that it's never ever over, is it? This game until it's properly over. Things swing around.
Hello.
Pen, yes, Ken. Do you want to come talk about your game?
Or eat it.
So to quote Rich there, bloody hell, I think was the appropriate response.
Yeah.
Only
had turn 7.
If only. I thought you'd drawn right up until Nick pointed out that wardroom in the back corner.
Yeah.
Although I must say, I did call the wardroom from the series start. I also called your charges to a T. So
yes. So your where you were that turn where you charged everything. He called it out to a T like 10 minutes before you did it.
It was like snooker. Called the shot perfectly.
Trick shot.
Yeah.
The last one.
Right.
I've thrown it twice.
Yeah.
You can't do the last one.
Really good game, but just
Right. Stuff.
It's a good shot for Paul.
Okay. Let's talk outside the stream.
I guess I think we'll end it there. So we are going to be starting.
Stop streaming. You're right.
Yeah. We're going to be starting the last game. It's due to start at 12:30. I imagine we're probably going to be a little bit later with that, so I would say we're probably starting more like 12:40, 22 our time. Hope you enjoyed this game. I thought that was a really good game to watch, that one. I really liked seeing Brotherhood on stream. I think seeing speed against lots of reserve and lots of attacks is quite an interesting game to watch. And I said interesting again, so you have to drink. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in probably just under an hour's time.